My phone slipped from my hand and shattered across the train station floor seconds before boarding. I dropped to my knees, trying to grab it while people pushed past me. Then an old woman caught my wrist first. She wore torn scarves, silver rings, and smelled like smoke. "You cannot get on that train," she whispered. I pulled my hand back. "Excuse me?" She forced the cracked phone into my palm and stared directly into my eyes. "Go home. Hide inside your closet. Do not let him know you're there." My stomach tightened instantly. Before I could answer, my phone buzzed. "Daniel. My fiancé. Tell me you boarded already. Not are you okay? Not did you miss the train?" "Just that." The old woman leaned closer. "If you board that train," she said softly, "your life ends tonight." Then she disappeared into the crowd. I stood frozen while the train doors closed. For some reason I still can't explain. I listened to her. I turned around and went home instead. And less than an hour later, hidden inside my own closet, I heard my fiancé walk into my apartment with another woman. Then he said something that made my blood run cold. By now, she should already be on the train. "My name is Natalie Hayes. I'm 29 years old, a senior financial analyst, and until that night, I believed I was about to marry the safest man I had ever known." Adrian Cole was intelligent, controlled, careful with every word. The kind of man who always sounded rational, even when he was manipulating you. Over 3 years, he convinced me that serious couples shared everything. Bank accounts. Investments. Insurance policies. I thought we were building a future together. Now I was hiding inside my own closet while he stood in my apartment with another woman. "I told you she trusts me completely," Adrian said calmly. The woman laughed under her breath. "Sophia." I recognized her voice immediately from one of his corporate events. My heart started pounding as I quietly opened my phone camera and began recording through the closet door. Then Adrian lowered his voice. "Once the wedding happens, everything becomes easier to access." I felt sick instantly. Sophia asked softly, "And if something happens before that?" Adrian answered without hesitation. "The insurance still goes to me." My entire body froze. Then came the sentence I still hear in my nightmares. "That train line's been having technical failures for weeks anyway." I covered my mouth to stop myself from making a sound. Because in that moment, I understood something horrifying. He didn't need to kill me himself. He was just waiting for fate to do it for him. I stayed hidden for almost 40 minutes, listening to them destroy my entire life like it was a business meeting. Sophia walked through my apartment wearing my robe while Adrian poured wine into the glasses I bought for our wedding. "She really transferred everything?" Sophia asked. Adrian laughed quietly. "Retirement accounts, joint investments, even the condo paperwork draft." Natalie practically handed me control herself. Every word felt like another knife sliding deeper into my chest. Then I heard drawers opening. Papers moving. Adrian had access to my office files. "The insurance adjustment went through yesterday," he said. "If she dies after the ceremony, it's cleaner. If something happens before, I still receive enough." Enough. That's what my life was worth to him. A payout. A strategy. Sophia sat on my kitchen counter and smiled. "And after the honeymoon?" Adrian answered instantly. "You move in here officially." I nearly made a sound. Not because he betrayed me. Because he had already replaced me. Then my phone vibrated silently in my hand. A news alert appeared across the screen. Rail operators investigating mechanical issues on the exact line I was supposed to take tonight. My blood went cold. This wasn't paranoia anymore. And suddenly, I realized something terrifying. Adrian wasn't just stealing my future. He was waiting for me to disappear. I didn't confront them. That was the moment Adrian lost without realizing it. While they laughed in my kitchen, I sat motionless inside the closet, replaying every financial document he had touched over the last 6 months. Every small suggestion. Every account merge. Every signature he rushed me through. I wasn't thinking like a fiancé anymore. I was thinking like an auditor. Quietly, I uploaded the recordings to 3 separate cloud drives. Then I forwarded copies to a private email Adrian didn't know existed. Vinganka doesn't scream, I whispered to myself. It waits. When they finally left the apartment after midnight, I stayed hidden another 10 minutes just in case Adrian came back. Then I moved fast. Laptop open. Bank portals. Investment dashboards. Insurance accounts. My stomach twisted as I discovered he had already submitted requests to increase his beneficiary percentages weeks earlier. He'd planned everything carefully. But Adrian made one mistake. He underestimated how much I understood about financial fraud. Within minutes, I froze pending transfers, flagged unusual activity alerts, and triggered internal compliance reviews connected to our shared assets. Then I sent Adrian a message. Thinking about coming back home tonight instead of taking the train. The typing bubble appeared instantly. Then disappeared. Then came his reply. Why would you do that? And for the first time all night, I felt him panic. Adrian called me 3 times after that message. I ignored every call. Instead, I watched him unravel through text. Are you home? Natalie, answer me. Why didn't you get on the train? That last message confirmed everything. Not are you safe? Not what happened. Only concern about the train. I screenshotted every word. Then I contacted my attorney, Melissa Grant, and sent her the recordings, financial documents, insurance changes, and account activity reports. By 2 a.m., she had already started emergency motions to freeze shared assets. But I wasn't finished. I forwarded the apartment recordings to one more person. Adrian's mother. Elaine Cole had always defended her son. Even when he was cruel, she called him misunderstood. But I knew one thing about Elaine. She hated public scandal more than anything. I attached the audio file. Then I wrote only one sentence. Listen to what your son planned for me tonight. 10 minutes later, she replied. Tell me this isn't real. I almost answered. But before I could type anything, another notification appeared on my phone. Breaking news. The exact train I was supposed to board had suffered a major brake system failure less than an hour earlier. And suddenly, I realized how close I came to dying for real. At 3:17 a.m., Adrian showed up outside my apartment. I watched his silhouette through the security camera on my phone while sitting silently inside a hotel room across town. He kept knocking harder every minute. Then came the calls. Natalie, open the door. I know you're inside. You're overreacting. Overreacting. As if I hadn't just listened to him discuss my death like a financial forecast. Then his tone changed. Soft. Careful. Manipulative. You misunderstood the conversation. I almost laughed. Minutes later, another notification appeared. My attorney had successfully frozen 2 joint accounts before large transfers could clear. But one transfer was already pending. Nearly $240,000. My stomach dropped instantly. Adrian must have initiated it earlier that evening. I contacted the bank directly and used my executive verification credentials to flag the transaction as suspected financial coercion and fraud. An emergency hold was placed temporarily. Temporarily. Meaning Adrian still had a chance to fight it when banks reopened. Then my phone buzzed again. A message from Elaine. Adrian's mother. He's calling everyone. He says you're mentally unstable. I stared at the screen for several seconds. Because suddenly I understood his next move. If he couldn't steal my money quietly, he was going to destroy my credibility instead. By morning, Adrian had already started his performance. He told friends I was emotionally exhausted. Told his family I'd become paranoid from wedding stress. He even contacted my office pretending to be concerned about my mental health. But Adrian forgot one thing. I had evidence. At 9 a.m., my attorney arranged an emergency meeting with representatives from the bank, the insurance company, and our legal teams through a secured conference call. Adrian joined confidently. Calm voice. Perfect suit. Controlled breathing. For the first 10 minutes, he acted like the caring fiancé trying to help his unstable partner. Then Melissa played the recording. The room went silent instantly. Adrian's own voice filled the call. If something happens to her before the wedding, the insurance still pays. Then Sophia's voice. And the train? Then Adrian again. That line's been having failures for weeks anyway. No one spoke afterward. Not the lawyers. Not the bank investigators. Not even Adrian. For the first time since I met him, he sounded afraid. Then Melissa shared the documents showing beneficiary changes, attempted transfers, and altered account permissions. Adrian started talking fast. You're twisting this, it was a joke, you're misunderstanding. But nobody interrupted him anymore. Because everyone had already heard the truth. And the silence that followed was the first thing Adrian could no longer control. The wedding was cancelled 2 days later. Banks froze every shared account. The insurance company reversed the beneficiary changes after investigators confirmed manipulation attempts. Adrian lost access to the investments, and the pending $240,000 transfer was officially classified as suspicious fraud activity. Sophia disappeared the moment formal investigations began. Even Adrian's mother stopped defending him after hearing the recordings herself. She sent me one final message. I don't recognize my own son anymore. Weeks later, transportation officials released a public report confirming severe brake failures on the exact train line Adrian pushed me to take. There was no deadly crash, but several passengers were injured after an emergency system malfunctioned that same night. He knew the risk was real. That was enough for me. I moved out quietly, rebuilt my finances, and removed Adrian from every corner of my life with the same precision he once used against me. But sometimes I still think about the old woman at the station. I never saw her again. No cameras captured her face. No employee remembered her. And to this day, I still wonder. If I had boarded that train, would anyone have ever known what really happened to me? If this story stayed with you until the end, take a second to like the video so more people can find it. Leave a comment with what you would have done in my place, I read every one. And if you want more stories like this, where silence is louder than lies, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss what comes next.